just like to put on record our thanks to Betfred, particularly over the last 18 months, who've been a fantastic partner, not just in those 18 months, but the 5 years that they've been the title sponsor. And we look forward to working with them for the next 2 years, or at least the next 2 years, I should say. So I'd just like to put on record our thanks. Everyone at Super League, the teams involved. Thank you to Betfred, Mark, Steve, Lucy, Chris, Matt, and Lewis into here somewhere as well. So we'd just like to say thank you. Before we start, Mark's just got a few words he'd like to say.
Good to see you all in person. A lot of you do look better on Zoom, by the way. It was a very, very easy decision. It was a handshake between Fred and Rodri, and we're delighted to extend for at least, and I stress at least, another 2 years. We've got a great association, we've got a great working relationship, and it has been tough the last few months, but you know, these fellas, the coaches, the officials, and everyone at Super League have done a superb job, and we're going to have a fantastic final here at Old Trafford. We had a unique year last year, we had a great final, we're going to have a brilliant final this year with the crowd as well. So best of luck to the best two teams in the competition this year. Good luck.
Thanks everyone.
Right, thank you. I will open it up for questions from the floor now. So if anybody would like to go first.
Steve, you had a lively send-off from Perpignan Airport. What was that like?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the crowd, the people at Perpignan, Catalans, I think you saw that in the build-up to the Hull Car game last week. They carried on with the send-off this morning, which was great to see. And well, finally it's good to get out of there and get here and start and get ready for the game.
Can you imagine what it would be like if you returned on Sunday morning with the trophy?
Yeah, well, I think we had a little bit of experience with it. But right back to the £1 million game when we survived that, and we went back and the reception we got through to the Challenge Cup. So we're all aware of the support that we received back in France, and we fully appreciate that.
Will this be a bigger occasion if you take the Super League trophy back?
I think it's the biggest. I think you could see that in the build-up. I mean, you know, Ben will be able to tell you firsthand as a Frenchman the national interest, you know, L'Equipe, you know, Canal Plus, these types of you know, broadcasters who are now heavily involved and have been heavily involved with the Dragons for probably the last month or so now, and the interest that is growing in France.
Then you played at Wembley, didn't you? And we saw the off-spin from that. How big could a victory on Saturday be for French Rugby League and Catalonia in particular?
Oh, we can see just all the majors. I think it will bring another world like in France, and like it's just TV. They always speak about rugby union football, but now they start to speak about rugby league, so it's something great.
Christian, do you feel like you need to be party poopers on Saturday?
Well, look, we've obviously got our own reasons for wanting to win, and we've got plenty of reasons as well. So you know, we get to worry a little bit more about ourselves, and I think it's absolutely outstanding what the Catalans have done for the game, and it is really good for the game to have someone from France in the grand final. And you know, I'm involved in international rugby league and a real fan of rugby league first. So as I said, I think it's outstanding. I think it really adds to the occasion, and you know, we've just got to worry about ourselves and what our own motives are.
You look like you've named the same team. I guess leaving out might have been the big question mark or the hardest decision for you.
Yeah, well, we were lucky enough to be able to name the same team. We wanted to, and obviously I was really happy with what the 17 did last week. I thought our performance was really good. We've got improvement in us, which is a really good place to be in, but overall our performance was really good. So being able to name that same team's exactly what you want to do at this time of year.
A tough decision to leave Joel out last week and possibly again this week then.
Yeah, very tough. He's been a great contributor to the game. He's got an outstanding career and played I think 247 or something along those lines. First grade games of footy, obviously most of those in Australia, and some of those over here with St Helens. So he deserves to and certainly should be really proud of the career that he's been able to forge for himself. And he's from a rough, tough area in Australia where he's probably had to overcome a lot more obstacles than most players to get to where he has, and he's grown into a terrific man. And a real leader, and in particular a real leader in the Indigenous community in Australia as well. So he's got a lot to be proud of, and he's been a very good player for a long time. So that makes it really tough to not play a bloke in a semi-final. And the fact of the matter is that Sione Matauti has done an outstanding job and got better and better as the years gone on. And Joe Batchelor's in the same boat. With every opportunity he's got better and better. And particularly since James Bentley hasn't been there, as I said, he's just improved with every performance. And at the end of the day, I've got to pick the best 17, and that's what we'll do this week again.
Thank you. Steve, can we just get the Sam Tompkins question out of the way first and move on? He's in the squad, he's hoping to play, but he's not going to be training, is he? Is the injury more serious than we thought initially?
No, he's done well. He had his first training session when he was 6 years old, so I don't think he needs to train too much. 26 years on, he needs to get him ready for the game. He's in good shape, he's in good form, he's in great spirits, and I'm very confident at the start of the weekend.
Steve, obviously someone will have to drop out if Sam plays from where weekend. Is that a tough decision for you, or have you made that one?
No, we've made it internally. We all know the situation. We're the same as St Helens were. If you could have said you could get to this stage of the season, you get to the grand final, and you've got practically a full squad to pick from, with maybe one down, James Bentley for Saints, Sam Tompkins generally for us, you'd snap the hand off. We're both in good, healthy positions. It's great for the game. Two teams ready to go at each other. We'll play really well tomorrow night. I know that. Whether that wins the game or whatever, you're not sure. But I know we'll play really well. We're ready to go.
What's the buzz been like, Steve, in Perpignan since you beat OKR, leading up to your departure today?
Yeah, it's been good, and that's there was a lot of expectation on the team last week. Without doubt, there was a lot of expectation. Finishing top, league leaders. OKR, fantastic win at Warrington, playing the sixth place team. There was some pressure on our group to get it done. There was satisfaction, there was relief, there was no wild celebration. You could see that after the game, and a real focus onto this game now. And that for us, all of that other stuff's the periphery, all of that support that we've got, all of that you've seen, and it's fantastic for the game, not like, as Christian said, for the international game as well, to see that type of support. But ultimately, for us as a group, it's about performing really well tomorrow night, and that's been our sole focus this week.
Steve, can we have clarity then that Sam definitely is going to play? Is that?
No, I've not said that. I said I'd be surprised if he doesn't play. We'll see.
Christian, are you preparing as though he will play?
Yeah, definitely. We certainly want to see him play. And, if we're good enough to win a grand final, we want to know that we beat the strongest Catalan side available, and that means Sam Tompkins in the side. So we're certainly preparing that way and hoping he plays, and that's the sort of game that we want.
How have you found it, Ben, in terms of just being out and about around the town the past week, when you go into shops or filling up your car with petrol, you see more interest in fans speaking to you about Catalans?
Yes, of course. I think they are really passionate about rugby league. You saw them at the game of the semi-final, but this morning at the airport it was just different atmosphere. And I think it will be a massive thing if we can bring the trophy to Perpignan.
And just on that, how much have you seen rugby league progress in France from when you first started playing to where it is now?
I think I started playing 2013. I think Catalan is a young club. We only have 16 years old or something like this. So year after year we are building something. It's hard because we travel weekend in week out, and I think with Steve is building something great with a young player. Some young French players are coming through at the moment. We can see this year with a young Archomo, Mathieu Laguerre, and that's the future, I think, from Catalan and from the French Rugby League.
Rose, it's potentially your last grand final. What would it mean to you if you could lead St Helens to the 3P?
Yeah, it would be obviously very special. I think we're aware that 3 in a row has only been done once before by Leeds, and obviously we've got an opportunity to maybe go on and do that, which should obviously be fantastic for the team point of view, but also, like you say, I'm coming to the end now of my career, and it might potentially be my last final. So I've got to take this opportunity, while it's in front of me, and really savour it.
Steve, you've changed your preparations, haven't you, arriving on a Thursday? I guess it gives the players a chance to familiarise themselves, but are you worried about any impact? Because you've flown in and out on the day so far this year, and it's worked, hasn't it?
No, we had to do it for you, watching the press conference, so when you wanted this in Monday, but that was too early, so... no, it's special. The grand final is special, so, you go outside of the norm. You can't pretend it's not different. It is. And for us, arriving today, being able to have a look around the stadium, do the press conference, get those bits out of the way, stay in a nice hotel in Manchester and get our team run done here. It's perfect preparation for us. Don't worry, there'll be no excuse or reason for us whatsoever after this game. But like I said, we're ready to go, and we'll see.
Just a final one for Ben from me. Do you intend to watch Toulouse on Sunday? You'll be back in time, won't you? And what would that mean if Toulouse could get to Super League?
I think it will be massive for the French Rugby League, because if Toulouse are going up, it means more French players will be playing at the top level in Europe for the French team too, and I think it will be a good derby against Catalan.
Steve, just on the journey you've been on, I think when you got to the club, it was in a very different state to what it is now. How could you have anticipated that you'd be able to have the manner of success you have in the period of time you've been at the club?
You obviously clearly have a plan when you go somewhere, and I think as long as you're clear in your own mind as to what you want to do and you're consistent in the delivery of that message, you understand you're going to have some successes and some losses and some ups and some downs, but the Catalan region is a very volatile region. It's very Latin, it's very, they're either up there or they're down there, and we had to sort of iron some of that out to try and gain some consistency, a little bit of levelness. So the group are really humble. We've had some tremendous victories this year, stayed humble. We've had some losses this year. We haven't overreacted to those losses. And I think that level of sort of consistency in delivering that clear message helps you progress. But Ben said we're 16 years old as a club. We're infants. We're juniors. You compare to the history of a club like Saints, which is 125 years old, I'm not sure. It's got that foundation of a club, and we're still building towards that, and we're still creating our foundation, if you like, for the club for the generations of years after us.
For you personally, where does this game rank in your coaching career in terms of importance? You've had England World Cup semi-finals, Challenge Cup final. Where does this one rank for you?
Yeah, it's up there quite clearly. It's up there. It's for us to represent Catalans and France in the grand final in England. It's right up there, right at the top there.
Steve, you've been here as a player before, obviously, in '99 I think it was. Will you allow yourself a moment in the build-up to the game to just enjoy it as a coach, your first time here coaching in the grand final?
I think we've sort of enjoyed the travel today, we're enjoying the build-up. I think it just becomes normal when you get into your routine once it becomes game day. It's what you do, it's what we do as coaches, we're creatures of habit, and we get on with it. And no, it's about winning the game. It's about performing really well on the day, and then hopefully that's good enough to win the game, and then on the back of that you can enjoy it.
You're the league leaders, you're the most consistent team in the comp, but they've been here and won it before. Who do you think the favourites are? Who's the pressure on?
There's no pressure on us. The pressure was last week on us. I felt that level of expectation last week. But I feel the group really free this week. I can sense the freedom of the group when we're a dangerous group when we're like that. Saints are clearly the favourites. We finished the top, but they've been there, they've been here, they've done it numerous times, like I said, the history of their club. So we come into this game as underdogs.
Christian, that makes you smile. How do you feel about that?
We're all just both going to say the same thing. League leaders and the Magic Weekend and those kinds of things, I'd certainly put Catalans as the favourites. And one thing that I think we can really enjoy this week. You get a lot of pressure when you haven't done something for a long time, or when you haven't done something before. And in 2019, this was a group that had a lot of pressure on them because they hadn't won a grand final and they'd been in positions to win big games and hadn't done so, and obviously proved that they could in 2019. We certainly felt some pressure for the Challenge Cup this year. Again, hadn't done that for a long time, A lot of question marks as to whether you can get the job done in that sort of game, and there's no pressure on the group whatsoever this year. You know, with what the group's achieved over the last 2 years, and both the Super League and the Challenge Cup, I think it's a really good opportunity to just enjoy it, and it's great to be able to come. Obviously, we played a grand final last year without fans, and while it was a great experience and something we got used to playing without fans, it's great to be able to come here and enjoy it a little bit more this year with fans as well. And as I said, I think that's the key to it for us, is that we do get to enjoy it a little bit more than what we have in past years, because again, we've been there before, we know what it takes, and we've got a group of special men that certainly know how to get the job done.
Christian, does what happened at the Magic Weekend work into your psyche, or positively or negatively?
Look, it certainly taught us a lesson. You know, we put ourselves in a position there where we allowed ourselves to get run down from a lead that we shouldn't have, and we certainly take a lesson there. And whether that helps us on, I'm glad Steve's getting ready to play well on Friday night, because we're coming on Saturday. But I don't think it helps either group really on Saturday. At the end of the day, what both teams have got to deal with is the whole build-up and how we perform in one game over 80 minutes and possibly more on Saturday. And it's going to present plenty of challenges throughout the game as well, and we've got to be able to deal with that.
Have you spoken about as a group, a group of players, what happened at Magic?
Yeah, well, like Christian said there, we obviously, going into that last 5-6 minutes, whatever it was of the game, there was no way we should have let that victory slip really, but like I say, that's a lesson learned, and something we can look back on and obviously learn from. And for large parts of that game, we played really well, but obviously the end wasn't really acceptable to our standards, and we regret that. Yeah.
Steve, just in terms of the travel and the logistics of it, you spent so much time together, obviously throughout the season travelling. Has that made you closer as a group, do you think? Was it forced you to be closer?
Yeah, I think I must have jet lag with all the travel. If I said Friday night, not Saturday, so apologies for that. But we spend a lot of time with each other. It's natural, we have to do that, because of the nature of where we are and what we're doing. Without doubt, we spend a lot of time, and you create some good bonds. And it's been different. The last 2 years have been particularly different for us. We used to come in the day before, playing the day after, going home the day after, so taking sort of 3 days out of your schedule. So. But it has been different, but we made some conscious decisions at the start of the year as well. We reduced the age of our squad. We had a new captain, obviously with Ben sat next to me here, and we worked quite short. You make those decisions, and you see where the season's going to take you. But you could tell probably right from the start of pre-season that they were a good group. There was lots of energy about the group, and the bond that we've grown together through a tough season with all the travel. It's amazing to see.